Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. Over on my Patreon, that's right, shameless plug, I have a tier where you can choose what content appears on this channel. I'll watch an anime or read a manga and then do a video on it with my thoughts. Longtime Patreon supporter Waffles asked me this month to do a video on Heroines Run the Show. As a heads up, this is a cute little shoujo with little to no romance, so if you're wanting a rom-com, look elsewhere. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. My goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it would mean a lot if you were one of them. Although I stated earlier that Heroines Run the Show is a shoujo, that isn't technically correct. When manga are published, they are usually found in magazines. These magazines are marketed towards a specific audience. Shoujo are for girls, generally aged 12 to 20, while shonen are for boys of the same age. So yes, if you're in your 40s and still talking about Naruto, you are no different than a Disney adult. I'll let that terror sink in while you pause the video and type an angry comment down below. The source for this series is actually a song, Heroine Tramoro, a Vocaloid song created by Honeyworks. I'll give you the quick rundown of the plot, and there will be a smaller spoiler later on, but this part is just the first episode or so. We gotta set the scene to see if you're interested after all. Hiyori Suzumiya is a first-year student who just got to Tokyo. She's from the countryside, and she loves to run. The problem? None of the high schools in her home district had a track and field program, so her parents encouraged her to go to high school in Tokyo. Shortly after arriving in the big city, her father injured himself. Nothing too serious, but he wasn't able to work for a few weeks. So, to help her family out, Hiyori decides to get a job. Now, the other two main characters, whom of course Hiyori sits next to, are Yujiro Some and Aizo Shibasaki, the only two members of a male idol group, Lip Lip. They are constantly surrounded by fans and never able to rest. But then again, this is the life they chose, so we aren't really expected to pity them. Now, Waffles warned me that this series wouldn't have much character growth, and he was right. Hiyori doesn't have much character growth. She goes through some struggles and tries to find the right answer, but she doesn't really change as a character. When you have someone who's a great person to begin with, they don't really need to change. Rather, they change the world around them by being a good example and, when necessary, yelling at people for being rude. Okay, so remember earlier when I said Hiyori wanted to get a job to help out her family? The one she basically stumbles into is manager in training for Lip Lip. She's basically their gopher, but she helps them out in lots of ways and even becomes friends with them. Which does cause some tension with the girls at school. How did you get so close to our idols? Are you secretly dating one of them? Now we get into spoiler territory, and it has to do with the title. So I'll post a little spoiler warning right here, and you can skip ahead if you don't want to be spoiled. Don't worry, I'll give you a second before we get to that point. About halfway through the series, Hiyori decides she's done being a background character. She wants to be a heroine, but she's not sure how to go about doing it. She winds up helping out a girl when the girl is being accosted by some random dick, and then the two of them go and eat crepes. The two wind up becoming fast friends, and she tells Hiyori about how she used to be jealous of her big sister, who is way cuter than she was. Eventually, she realized that she had to take control of her life if she wanted to be cute. She had to put in the effort herself if she wanted to change, which encourages Hiyori to take control of her own life. She decides she's going to be the heroine of her own tale. So, there's a little bit of character growth, but in my opinion, it's more of a direction change. Hiyori decides she is going to be more than just a background character who runs. She is going to take charge of her life. And that drive that helped her to become one of the best runners in her hometown stays with her as she tries new things. Sure, she has some struggles along the way, but she stays a good girl focused on helping her friends and coworkers. Now, there is a manga adaptation of this story, so maybe that's the shoujo part, right? I'm afraid not, dear viewer. The manga is published in a seinen magazine. That's right, it appeals to adult men. Stick that in your hat. Now, if you're asking if I'd recommend this series, it's not my usual fare, but it was cute and heartwarming and a fun romp. So if you're wanting something enjoyable with a great main character who always tries her best, you should watch Heroines Run the Show. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex, Robert, Pi, Kazaris, Patrick, Boomy, Osiris, Leech, Luke, Mr. Salty, Daniel Zombie, Brian, Waka, Telethia, Azander, Michael, and John. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.